My name is Paul Bailey and I've been a designer for 8 years.
Mi nombre es Gregory Saavedra, vivo en Londres, pero soy
I'm Charlotte and I'm a junior designer at Butterfly. I have a background of motion graphics.
My name is Nick Carter. I've been a graphic designer for about nearly 3 years.
So this is one I used to use to get business money, basically. Underneath is some work I did that is kind of my own stuff, which actually went to an exhibition and then ended up being a series that I kind of didn't really complete, but it's to give you an idea of what I'm doing individually. Could be said to be a portfolio.
I worked for a track delivery company.
My first ever job was in the Disney store.
Oh, outside of design, my first ever job that I was paid for was as an Irish dancer.
My first ever job was when I was 14. I had a paper round. I worked all summer to save up to buy basic.
I always keep this as like my talisman. This was my original piece of printed artwork from college days.
I keep the old ones as well as I add the new ones. There's nothing special.
There's a project that I worked on when I was at LCC with 2 other students.
Basically, you can use it wherever you want. The presentation can take any form. So I decided to take away my speech and just present images and a few bits of text. But it was terrifying because it was like half an hour presentation, and I gave a very brief introduction to myself for 5 minutes, and then I spent about 15 minutes just like put my finger on a button, flicking through, and like there was like dead silence in the whole place. I didn't anticipate how intense it would be. I was sweating just hitting a button, and then like trying to come out of that and like motivate discussion was really, really hard.
Yeah.
So that was most recent, but that was really, really difficult. It was so hard not to say anything.
Asked one of my agents to design and create a label for a bottle of liquor. Actually, he was from Illinois or something like that, and he was extremely poor. He did not have any budget at all for that label. And my agent told me, hey, there's no money in this, and this guy wants you to do this. There's a lot of work because he needs everything, not just the label. He wanted a lot of stuff. And I said at that point, I'm extremely busy. Then 2 weeks later, there was a guy on my door called Mikey coming to my door. He took a train, a flight, and he came to a flat to ask kindly that please I need you to do this because it will be the only way I will succeed with my liquor. And he asked the money to his friends to travel around and come to a flat, and obviously I did the label.
After all the effort.
I did everything for free, but please do not come to my place because it's embarrassing.
And so I brought my work, and he basically said, what the hell is this? Because this isn't advertising. And I said, oh yeah, but I really like advertising, I think that's what I want to do. He's like, no, you're not advertising, you've gone at this at the wrong angle. You're showing me your work, it's great, but it's not what I do. So you really need to tailor your work. Negative feedback, not negative but constructive, is more powerful because then it makes you feisty and it makes you like, no, I know what I want to do and maybe I didn't go to the right angle, but this is what I want to do. So for me, it's clarity and showing what your skills are. So just be clear and be concise. The most important thing when you're applying is tailor your email so you know who you're talking to, because I've had emails that the company name is copied and pasted and that this, that and the other, and it's in a different font, a different size, and it's a bit insulting, it's wasting my time, they've wasted their time, their work's not even what we do, so you really have to pay a lot of attention to detail.
Then a couple of covers. I don't mind the cover, the graphics for this cover, I think that's horrendous, but you have to show it in context, because if you show spot illustrations only, look inside, oh this is safe inside, really good stuff inside, you've got to tell people, yes, but I can be used on the outside of your magazine, you get paid more for the cover than any inside you might do. So it's really important to have that stuff there and have it in context to show that it kind of does work.
Be self-critical and very honest with yourself. So that applies to the way you present your work in your portfolio, the way you design your portfolio itself. Is it an interesting journey from page 1 to page 12? If it's not, you need to redo it. If there's a piece of work in there that isn't as strong as the others, you should just take it out. Detach yourself from the work and try and see your work the way that someone who doesn't know you would see it.
And then we have seen some insane things, like huge portfolios, like huge bodies of work that people bring in, which isn't really appropriate because the aim is to edit and like to make a selection and kind of present you an aspect of yourself that you think is relative to what you're applying for. When you do see somebody not even bothering to edit or regard the reader, it can really just turn you off.
But I thought I'd give you an idea that you could use the publicity parts, sections of your portfolio to kind of sell yourself, because the whole thing is selling yourself.
It would be just 3 principles. One, I think it is the most important, it's be yourself. And the second one would be to be as much original as possible. And the third one, this is my obsession, is to try to be as much relevant as possible.
Somebody once sent me a video recording of himself in his bedroom talking about why he wanted this job and how appropriate it was. Yeah, awful. I think he was wearing his pyjamas.
We had this really funny situation a couple of years ago where we were flicking through a very, very slim portfolio and it wasn't looking great, but it was just like we found like a sock. And we found something like we found like maybe something like a child's underwear, like it's part of a piece, like oh, what is this? And we're giving it back to the girl and she was mortified, and I think she was Scottish. And she's like, my brother does this all the time. He started putting his stuff in my portfolio. I think it was really funny. Like it was hilarious.
And then the chicken goes mad. And then
I've been a designer for 12 years. Oh, sorry. I need to check. I find one of the things I'm most interested in asking applicants is what they're working on at the minute. What is just having a dance there?